NT Live. Tickets are on sale now in participating cinemas.
Good evening to you, wherever you are, and welcome to the National Theatre on London's South Bank.
It's a fantastic moment, the 100th NT Live.
Amazing, 100, that's incredible.
It's crazy to me to think that we're coming up on 100 productions.
I can't imagine where it will go, except I know it will.
Tonight's performance of Racine's dark tragedy Phèdre, with Helen Mirren in the title role, will be beamed as it plays moment by moment to cinemas around the world.
Phèdre started with the safety curtain opening like this. And I remember sitting in the production truck, watching it happen right there on the stage that all of us were watching in cinemas, and my heart was racing.
There was absolute stillness and tension in the cinema.
Anything could go wrong. If you're going live to cinemas and somebody blanks, they blank to hundreds of thousands of people.
I'm sitting here now and I can see that image of Helen in her dress and just thinking, wow, this is the start of something big for us.
It was absolutely one of a kind because none of us had ever done it before.
Where did these words come from?
I think it can't be understated, actually, how much when we launched NT Live, it was in our minds an experiment.
They're not going to give movie performances, they're going to give theatre performances. So it is an experiment, it is a risk, and I'm going to be crossing my fingers, and I don't know whether I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to find out.
Well, I expect they're a little more nervous than usual.
As the actors came off stage, we go, what do you think? Do you think we're doing too much? Is it too little? I think I should bump it up a bit. No, you're getting too big. Take it down.
My mind is strange. Some god has taken my senses.
We were having to sort of work that out, literally, as we were doing the play, where to pitch the performance. It was a very exciting experience.
Your evil, incriminating mouth has ruined his name and blasted his life!
There were, some hiccups and some near misses.
She did forget a key line.
It was a long time ago, but I can't actually remember.
Didn't matter, but it did emphasize how on a knife edge the whole thing is.
It was wonderful. My husband was here in Los Angeles and he went and watched it live and he said the audience applauded, like they were in the theatre.
I think what it shows is that the cinema audience has been persuaded mysteriously that they're in the theatre.
So I came into that cinema feeling, wow, I think I've seen the start of a revolution.
And the first email came in from Reykjavik in Iceland, and it said, I'm in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and I've just seen Phèdre live. Across the UK, around the world, there were audiences who were engaging with the National Theatre's work in a way they never could have before, and just felt like it opened up all kinds of possibilities for what we could do in the future.
I remember very keenly when NT Live started, and I was a total skeptic. I was wrong.
You're about to see this play being broadcast simultaneously via satellite to 15 countries around the world.
Suddenly there were more cinemas that wanted to take part.
Over 150,000 people will have seen a show in this first season of NT Live in 22 different countries. 1,000 cinemas, 2,000 cinemas, more countries joining, greater audiences.
I realised it was successful always when they did it again and then again and again.
One of the most exciting aspects was the expansion beyond just plays that the National Theatre produced. We began the first one with Complicité, eventually the Donmar Warehouse.
Right now I'm joined by the director, Josie Rook, who's also the artistic director of the Donmar Warehouse.
We're very, very privileged in that way to have this small theatre, but it's amazing to go out to NT Live and to go out around the country.
Absolutely,
we love it.
2,500 cinemas.
Yeah.
2,500 cinemas all over the world.
And then eventually commercial work in the West End as well.
For the first time ever, we're going to be broadcasting a West End production.
So for me, this NT Live is the coming of a dream. I insisted that as soon as the play was to be revived, that it had to be part of NT Live, because I want people to see the play.
The first NT Live that really played to huge numbers was Frankenstein, with Benedict Cumberbatch and Johnny Lee Miller, and that was when we realised that, to a degree, these do behave like movies.
Look at me. The audience keeps on growing. There obviously is a real hunger for it. None of us could have foreseen what this initiative has led to.
way it's shot, it's kind of the cream of great television and screen directing, almost creating a new genre of theatre in the cinema.
I think the favourite of the shows that I've made myself was Small Island. There was something about the epic, a whole island, down to the absolutely tiny detail of what was happening with these three characters and the people they came across. And I felt that the NT Live really captured that. The surprises really were about finding out what a very specific and bespoke skill the camera director on those live events is.
The job of the camera director is basically being in charge of the transfer from the theatre audience to the cinema audience.
But what I love about NT Live is that sometimes I've seen moments I would never have glimpsed if the camera hadn't made me.
This girl has always struck me
You will not! Be gone! Be gone, I say! What is it,
You've already rehearsed with the cameras, you've rehearsed with the actors, you've talked to the camera director about how you want to change things. Then the day, obviously, is just about, will it go according to plan?
Unlike a normal production that has 1,000 things that can go wrong, when you're doing an NT Live, you have 10,000 things that can go wrong.
You literally have a pencil and you start, going through the whole script, writing in every camera shot, what shot size there, which camera's taking that shot, top shots, low shots, whatever, you kind of need to get a sense of how you want it to translate for the cinema audience.
Greetings, prophets!
I mean, what's brilliant about NT Live with something like Angels in America is it just enables many more people to see the show.
To get the opportunity to see that magical production that you missed, with that feeling of it being live, is really precious.
All rise!
I was lucky enough to go and see Prima Facie live, and I felt that the subject matter was so important for my teenage girl to go and see it. She went to see it at the cinema and was completely blown away by it.
The job is not to know, it's to not know.
And to see that type of piece outstripping major movies is a real feat of the power of the word, extraordinary acting, and the power of our imagination.
Even in their wildest dreams, the people who really got the whole thing going would not have anticipated the degree to which it's become a really central part of what the National is about.
By 2023, we had an audience of almost 800,000 people in China. We have 220 venues in about 69 cities. We have some audience like choose costume depending on the topic of the show even.
National Theatre Live has changed our lives. We've been able to bring the fabulous world of theatre, the fabulous world of entertainment to people in a very rural community.
Our audiences really love NT Live. The angles that you get, it's really the best seat in the house.
To come and be able to see such amazing performances firsthand, it brings the arts to our small community.
We are not exchanging the experience of going to the theatre. This is a new kind of performing art in between going to the theatre and watching a movie.
Together, we share the responsibility for what theatre can be.
Over the years, NT Live has become kind of like a lifestyle. Go out to see a show, go out to see a movie, and go out to see NT Live.
Young people, old people, and everybody in between. The more theatre can reach people in the corners of the country and the world, it's a truly brilliant thing to be part of.
It's been a great thrill to participate in this experiment, which is no longer an experiment, which is a fact of our lives.
For something that was, let's try this thing and see if it works and see if people like it, to then having 99 of them, having NT at home, having some of the greatest performances ever captured forever, is just a monumental feat. For the 100th NT Live to be a show about the man who created the NHS, I just think is kind of beautiful.
It feels amazing that now is the 100th NT Live. Amazing that it's falling in my time, that it's a show that I'm directing, and also that it's probably the last show that I'll direct here. I'm hugely proud to have been a small part in its journey, and I really, really look forward to going to the 200th and the 300th and the 500th in the future.